Oh. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Oh gosh, just give me a second. Give me a second. Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Subnautica Below Zero. Right, as you just saw, we found the final fragment for the parallel processing unit. A quick recap of how we got to this moment. I'm not supposed to begin, I'm supposed to begin there. Quick recap of how we got to this moment. I've spent the last 25 minutes bashing my head against the wall trying to figure out what the console command for the parallel processing unit is, only for me to discover that the parallel processing unit does not yet have a console command assigned to it because it is such a new piece. It only came in with the Salad Days update, and as such it cannot be spawned. The unit itself cannot be spawned, and its fragment cannot be spawned, so that was a complete waste of my time. Then I thought, I suppose I should go back onto the post where I saw the location of the fragment and see if there was anything else there, if there was any more information. What I discovered was a tiny piece of writing underneath the photograph showing where one person had found the fragment, which was a line saying its location appears to be random, which I didn't see the first time because I was so excited by the picture. So I thought, okay, I'll go back to the ship and I'll have another look around and I'll see if there's any locations that I missed, and I found another fuse box like I did in the small wreckage that we found on top of that crevice in the purple vents. I opened that box, as you saw, and inside was the final fragment. Okay, that was actually the scariest moment in this entire game, because I genuinely thought that I wouldn't be able to progress with the story because I thought I wasn't able to find that fragment. But never mind. It doesn't matter. It's not important. We have got what we came for. We got what we set out to do. We found the parallel processing unit. And with those console commands and me bashing my head against the wall, I've probably broken the game. But never mind. Never mind that, and never mind my hoarse voice. Let's just see what we need for this. Let me guess, it's going to require something I don't have. Nope, that is unbelievably buildable. Okay, give me a minute to get some coral and some other materials, and we will build this, and then we will have the parallel processing unit in hand, like I said we would at the end of the last video. Now we have ourselves a parallel processing unit. Okay, so now we need some titanium and some copper wire. That's also very doable. Also running out of titanium. I should have picked up some. I should have picked up some of that metal salvage while I was at the ship. I was so excited I completely forgot. Test override module. Diagnostic module for the Delta Station Communications Tower. Okay, that is wonderful. That is fantastic. Let me get rid of a few bits and pieces out of my inventory. Grab some water that I didn't realise I had. And we'll go to the island and the communications tower, and we'll put that in and we'll see what that does. Okay, never mind the cold weather. Never mind the snow. We are back on the island. I should probably do this in daylight, actually, so that it looks a little bit more dramatic, but frankly, I have waited long enough for this moment. I'm not going to make it wait, and I'm not going to make you wait anymore. That's why I absolutely refused to turn the recording on until something interesting happened, because of how boring the last video was. Oh, a storm. Thunder and lightning. Very, very frightening. I see. I don't think we've been on land during a storm before. Pretty. In its own sort of terrifying way, if I can ever remember how you get back up to the communications tower. Okie dokie, my friends, the wait is finally over. We are going to do this thing. This should do it.
Dangerous weather approaching.
Oh, hush. Did I shut it down? Seems very confused. Done. Yeah, done for, I think. Okay, that wasn't quite as exciting as perhaps I imagined it would be. That wasn't quite as cinematically pleasing, but it does seem very, very confused. Okay, that is fantastic. That hopefully means that we have shut down the tower. Ooh! Prestige answer. Cryptic directions to greenhouse. Response. Pithy sign off. Oh man alive, I love early access stuff. Okay, did that give me a marker or I can't read that. What is that? Oh no, that's the ship, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, that didn't give me a beacon to her beacon manager. Emergency supply boats. No, that didn't give me a beacon to her greenhouse. Okay, that must mean that her greenhouse is now accessible. Okay, that's good. That must be what that meant. Okay, so now I need to find ourselves a way back to the greenhouse so we can have an explore of that. Okie dokie, okie dokie, okie dokie. God, we might actually be able to rename the ship at this rate and call it the Success Face. I don't know. I think that would be tempting fate to make something else go wrong if I renamed the ship. Okay, right. To the greenhouse! I just want to quickly interject something into this, into this, all of what this is. I am going to cry by the end of this series. I would just like that to be painfully and blatantly obvious to everybody watching. I am going to cry at some point in this series because honestly this weather is driving me up the wall. Like, seriously. I love everything about this game except the weather. The weather mechanics are driving me to absolute insanity because it makes it impossible to see further than 5 meters, which means unless you bring beacons, it's completely impossible to remember where anything is. So, as a top tip, if you like, for how to win at this game, my advice would be have an invisible PDA. Oh, fantastic, I've broken the game. Oh, I told you I was going to cry by the end of this. Oh, I tell you, now the PDA's become invisible for some utterly crazy reason. Right, okay, it would appear that for some reason the game is bugged and my... Oh, great. See what I mean about the weather problem? This is what I mean by the weather problem. It just becomes completely impossible to see anything. Which, when you're trying to search for a tiny outcropping of rock in the middle of a huge ocean, becomes unbelievably tiresome. Oh, this is ridiculous. I cannot see a thing. See, if there was just something to combat it, at least a tiny bit. Right, enough griping, enough moaning. Let's just see this new bit of story. Satellite hasn't passed by in a while. Do you have anything to do with that? Sam's not the only one in the family who knew what to do with vague directions and old wire. She was an original, that sister of yours. First time I met her, she was Altera and through, not a crease in the uniform, spending those bird bots to spy everywhere. Then she surprised me, maybe a little too much. Meaning, if you really want to know, go see for yourself, I'll point you in the right direction. Need anything else, don't bother me, but you can help yourself to the greenhouse, listen to it repay you for getting those goons off my back. Okay. No, the PDA is still broken. Great, that's fantastic. Never mind the PDA. I will somehow try. See, I think this is the problem. Somehow it's... like, my camera is slightly too high up for some reason. Like, my scanner shouldn't be down there. It should be a little bit higher up. So I think my PDA is coming up. It's just coming up too far down. So never mind that for the time being. Let's have a look at what we've got here. Chinese potato plants. And marble melons. If I remember correctly, it was the lantern fruit that was the be-all and end-all of fruit in the original game. Okay, so there is much food here and not an awful lot else. I would love to be able to read this stuff and tell you what it says. However, I am not capable of doing that. Thoughts about margin sound? Oh yes, of course, sorry, it's... Hello. I'm terrified of you, but at the same time kind of interested. Okay, Okay, so evidently I cannot carry on until I have figured out how to fix this PDA issue. So, give me a minute while I fix the PDA issue. Okay, welcome back. I fixed the issue, as you can see. I can now bring up my PDA absolutely fine, and yes, that is the elevation that it was supposed to be at previously. I fixed the issue by quitting and reloading to where I was at before. We've already read this, so I'll talk over it. Which was 50 minutes worth of the doing of stuff, which I did again in about 20 minutes. So everything that you've seen me do, plus all of the stuff that I cut out because nothing was happening in it, and all of the searching that I was doing, I had to do that all over again. But never mind. It doesn't matter. It's not important. It's been done. It has been conquered. We are back where we're supposed to be. And if I were to give a tip, it would be, don't use console commands if you can possibly get away with not using them, because they seem to break the game. Okay. Right. Hint about the location of the destroyed lab. Oh, fancy. Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure that the information hadn't already been here, and I just hadn't seen it. Okay. So there's a destroyed lab somewhere, and that's given me a hint of its location. Okay. So in reality, that information that I was missing out on was actually not consequential. I can scan her. That's a new one. Confidential. Quite. Okay. Snowstalker fruit plant. What? Oh, that's what the spicy fruity salad stuff is. What is this? Snowstalker fruit. I see. That doesn't really answer my question. But never mind. Okay, so obviously due to the well, I hate to use the phrase, but the sort of the cutting edge, I suppose, level of the story that we're at. More about Marge and Sam's relationship. If only I could hear that. Thoughts about Sam? Yes. Yeah, that's not been revealed either. What is it telling me I can scan? Oh, it's the plant, isn't it? Oh, gosh. Phil, you idiot. Okay, never mind. Reset. Reset the old brain. Edible, high water content plant collects fruit from the air rather than relying on its root system, and produces large, fleshy fruits which are found edible and atypical in a water content. Okay. Never mind any of that. What, we just scanned this, didn't we? Or didn't we? No. Oh, I don't even know at this point. Okay, never mind any of that. Sorry, let me just reset my brain. Sorry, I've been doing this for about an hour and a half. And you've probably seen about 15 minutes worth of content so far, so it's just kind of driven me up the cursed wall. Okay, so obviously due to the fact that we're kind of at the cutting edge of the story at the moment, obviously there's not a lot of detail, there's not a lot of fleshing out, there's not a lot of information for me to make next steps with. So for the time being, I don't know how much more of the story is currently available. Obviously it's not all available since we're not at the 1.0 yet. I don't know how much further in the story I can get. I don't know whether this destroyed lab they're talking about currently exists. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's findable. Thoughts about mine is that, yeah, okay, so that doesn't have any information either. So I don't know if that will be findable. I might do some research here whether that base is findable or not, so that we can do the next stage of the story in the next video. I know it seems early for me to be talking about the next video, but I've been doing this, as I said, for an hour and a half, and frankly I'm going absolutely stark raving mad. In fact, I think I've been doing it more since I started at about 4 o'clock, and it's currently about 10 to 6. But never mind. Never mind that. Let's go back to base and actually use some of the blueprints that we found ages ago in order to actually build some stuff, because one of the things I really want to build is the modification station, which allows me to upgrade a load of my gear, which I want to do. So let's go back to base, build the modification station, build a bunch of other bits and bobs, and do some cool stuff. Okie dokie, we have finally got this. It took me a little while to find a piece of lead, but never mind. Lead isn't important. Okay, right, what have we got here? Okay, not actually as much as I thought they'd be. Sea truck module upgrades. Okay, so we can build those here instead of having to build them in the thingamajig. Still don't know where to find nickel. Ultra high capacity air tank only requires 4 pieces of lithium. That's pretty doable. And the thermoblade cooks and sterilizes small organisms for immediate consumption with a survival knife and a battery. Okay, that would be useful for one roundabout. So pieces of lithium. I don't think I've got any lithium, have I? I have 1 piece of lithium. Right, okay, give me a minute while I find some lithium, and then we'll build the ultra high capacity air tank, and we'll have succeeded at least one thing today. Okie dokie, ultra high capacity air tank. What does this do for us, I wonder? What's this then? Wow. 180 seconds. What, that's of my standard 45, I think it is. How much oxygen does that give me? What are you doing, you crazy person? 225 seconds of oxygen. That is fantastic. That is incredible. Right. Okay, so that's what we can do with the modification station for the time being. I would like to make this, however, I accidentally used my my ion cube on refilling the tether tool, but never mind. Why don't we make ourselves a jukebox and some speakers to see what kind of fun we can have with them. Okay, some quartz. I just need some titanium. There we are. That should be all we need. Whoa, this thing's bigger than I thought it was going to be. Okay, let's put it right there. Yeah, that's good. Yep, that's good. I can live with that. Excellent. I can now scan this. Don't I? How? Early access game, as always, forgive it. Okay, I need pieces of copper for this, which is not something I have in huge abundances, but never mind, we'll make a couple of them, just for the sake of it. Let's put one right about there. Bang, and one right about there. Poof. Okay, let's see what happens if I put something in. Spooky. Okay, again, I'm sorry, I'm not going to play those pieces of music for you in their entirety, because I'm terrified of getting copyright strike, and frankly, this video has been hard enough to get up in the first place. If it then gets taken down, I'm going to cry. Okay. Okay, should we make an indoor grow bed? I mean, we've got that marble melon. I don't know if it will still work because it's gone rotten, but I mean, if we take a couple of these and put one of these beds in here, which is going to fit like a glove. There we go. And pop this down. Poof. If we do this, we should then be able to. Excellent! We can now grow it as a seed. Oh yes, there it is. Excellent, excellent. Or does this just... actually, maybe this doesn't work as a seed. I may have just screwed us. Oh no, I can grow this. Okay, fine. Okay, at least I can grow something, I hope. Okay, right. I was never good with gardens, forgive me. Right, let's see. Is there anything else cool and exciting that we could have? Alien containment. When did I find that? I have no memory of ever finding that, but never mind. That sounds like a cool thing that I want to have. Could I build it in here, I wonder? I have to clear out some of this stuff, wouldn't I? Okay, give me a second while I clear out a little bit of this, and we'll see if we can build. There we are. Could I build this in here? No, you can probably only build it in a multi-purpose room, unless just getting rid of that would be enough. Not that. Oh, I didn't need to build these in here, that's nice. Not... honestly, why do I find it so hard to remember the controls for this thing? Okay, right, never mind. You can't build that in here. Okay, so we need to build another multi-purpose room, which is going to require a lot more titanium. I just had a thought. If we can build the, if we can build the nuclear reactor in here, then why don't we build the nuclear reactor in here? Why don't we move it? That sounds like a good idea to me. Oh great. I can't. Do you know what? Never mind the alien containment. We'll come back to the alien containment on a different day when I actually have the strength in my brain in order to do this. Let me instead build us an observatory. Oh, yoki. Ooh, that didn't do my structural integrity much good, and I don't have the lithium to build another support. Or do I? How much lithium do you need for a support? Oh, just the one. Turns out I do have the lithium for a support. I'm just too dumb to realise that I now cannot find a place to put it. There we go. That's a bit better. Right, now that's the structural integrity problem fixed. We can actually have a look. Oh, isn't this lovely? We can actually kind of not really see anything because it's so dark. Which, as a tiny little point of note, I would like to make. Not that anybody who will actually have the power to enact this ever hear this, but please do something about the weather. Please at least make the completely opaque weather slightly less frequent, because when you are trying to find something, it's completely and utterly impossible, because you cannot see anything. Right, rant over. Let's sit in the chair. Not enough space to sit. Oh. Do I have any whiskey sitting around? Because frankly I need some at this point, because honestly this video has been... I don't have the words. I don't have the words to say to you, my non-existent audience. I do not have the words to say to you how much of a pain I am currently experiencing in myself. It's mainly in my left wrist and the back of my skull. Oh, thank you. That's all I wanted, was just to sit down. Oh, gosh, give me strength. I've been doing this for 2.25 hours so far. My giddy aunt, this has been a taxing episode to make, and I don't even think we've really had an awful lot of content in it so far. Anything else exciting we could make? We could make a picture frame. Upload desired image compatible with PDA photo galleries. Oh, that's not for the posters then. That's a shame. Let's build a fridge. Let's live the high life and build a fridge for ourselves. Why don't we do that? I don't know. I'm just going stark raving mad at the moment. So please forgive my taxed appearance. I am going completely, utterly insane making this episode. Okay. A nice fridge for the storing of yummy foods. I can't wait to go to the real fridge and get something to make me forget about making this episode, because frankly it's been hell on earth. Ah, lovely, a storage location. I could put this in here, even though it doesn't make any difference. There's something that actually rots. Okay, what else have we got? What else have we got? Let's have counter. Let's have a table. Let's have a table to eat our dinner at. Let's do that. Let's have some creature comforts up in this. Here we are. Have a little table to sit at. And we'll have even a chair, a nice chair to sit at while we eat our dinner. Lovely. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that absolutely lovely? And a bin for nuclear waste disposal. I suppose we should put that in here. Out of curiosity with the whole nuclear waste disposal thing, which does not sit flush against the wall, which really annoys me in games where you build stuff and you cannot put it flush against the wall. Why? I just can't put this thing anywhere, can I? Okay, since apparently that doesn't like sitting it flush against the wall, we're going to stick it in this corner instead. Okay, out of curiosity, is that what you use these drained nuclear reactor rods for? If I take these ones, can I put them in here? Is that literally just a box? Oh no, wait, hang on a minute. No, that's the fridge fill. Ah, it actually does dispose of them. Does it dispose of everything, or does it just dispose of that? What's something worthless I can put in there? A piece of titanium. Perfect piece of worthless junk to put in there. Use the trash can instead. Okay, right, so. Yes, okay, that answers that question. Nuclear waste is literally just for disposing of nuclear reactor rods that are spent. Okay, so that's, I suppose that's useful. Stops them from plugging up your inventory. One tiny thing that I feel like I should preface. as much as this episode and the last episode have mainly been me with a pained expression on my face, feeling as if I wish I hadn't gotten out of bed this morning, I still do love this game. Okay, I should emphasize that beyond all measure. I really, really do love this game. I love what it is. I love its potential. I love this game to pieces. I absolutely do. I always have. I always will. Nothing will ever change my opinion of this game, that it is fantastic. There are just some tiny little nagging bits that occasionally drive me up the wall. The weather is one of them, because it makes it so hard to actually play the game. Because that is the only thing in games that really gets to me when it comes to difficulty. I like a difficult game, okay? I like something that's taxing and that's difficult and it's challenging, and I've run out of titanium. Oh my giddy aunt. I'm going to go insane. I like those kinds of things in games. I genuinely do. But it's when stuff gets in the way of your enjoyment of the game. Like, difficulty can make a game more enjoyable, but something that makes a game less enjoyable, because it makes it overly difficult, is much less fun. And that is how I feel the weather is. Not the concept of the weather. The concept of the weather is fine. Having bad weather for the temperature and stuff is fine. It's the extent of it. It's the amount of bad weather. It's the frequency of bad weather. It's the intensity of bad weather. Purely on the visual spectrum. On the auditory and the temperature spectrum, it's absolutely fine. The mechanics are very well balanced. But I would say, in my personal opinion, that the visuals of the bad weather are horribly unbalanced. It makes it absolutely categorically impossible to explore. If that's the intention of it, that's fine. But then that brings up the other problem, that it becomes too frequent. It's constantly saying dangerous weather approaching, and then it clears for like 90 seconds, and then you have more dangerous weather for like 3 minutes, and then it clears for like 90 seconds. If it were just a little bit more balanced, it were just a little bit more 50-50 between bad weather and good weather, that would be lovely. That would just make exploring the place so much easier. Or some way to combat it, like some sort of special helmet, or some sort of special device that helps you see through blizzards, even though I don't even think such a technology exists in real life. Just something. Just so that you don't have to think, oh, dangerous weather, I shall have to sit in my sea truck and go and get a cup of coffee while I wait for the dangerous weather to pass, and then I can actually go back out and see what I'm doing. If it was harder to explore while there's dangerous weather, instead of it being completely and utterly impossible to explore while there's being dangerous weather, that would just make it so much nicer. But that is my only qualm, and I tried to phrase that in a constructive way, because I do not want it to seem like I'm hating on this game, because I don't hate this game. I absolutely adore this game. I really, really love it. It's so fantastic, and that is literally the only part of it that I would change, even how tricky it is to find some things at times. I wouldn't even change that, because exploration is a big part of this game. It's just the opacity of the weather. It is so difficult to see. If there was one thing in this game I would change, it would be that, and that is the only thing I would change. Other than that, I adore this game. And now, let's go to sleep. Lovely. Okay. So, I'm sorry if this has been a short video, and I'm sorry that so much of this video has been me complaining about things. But that is going to be it for today. I'll do some research and figure out what we're going to do in the next video. I hope it was somehow enjoyable, and I hope that I communicated my minor frustrations about this game in a good way. Because as I said, I do like this game. It is so good. It is such an improvement on the first one, and it is fantastic. But seriously, the weather gets in the way of fun, and that is when difficulty becomes too difficult. Difficulty is fun. So difficult that it's not fun anymore. Shush. That's where the problem comes in, okay? So that is my final word in it. I will stop griping in the next video. I promise not to gripe at all unless something unbelievably annoying happens. But I will figure something out. I'll look into this other base. I'll also look into some nickel so that we can hopefully explore a bit further down to that cave system where we found the Shadow Leviathan. I'd love to have another look at him. I will look into some stuff. I'll do some research. I'll find some objectives for the next episode, and we'll get onto it, and it will be cool. It'll be amazing. I will love it all to death. Have fun. Look after each other.